As Sarah was barren, now Rebekah, the daughter-in-law, also could not give birth. Isaac prayed to the Lord, and the Lord blessed Rebekah with two sons, that is Jacob and Esau. And from here we are going to be reading and studying more about the story of Jacob and Esau. And in this chapter also we see the descendant of Abraham, from Isaac to Ishmael. Read the Bible with me. The death of Abraham. Abraham had taken another wife whose name was Keturah. She bore him Zimram, Jokshan, Medan, Midian, Ishbak, and Shua. Jokshan was the father of Sheba and Dedan. The descendants of Dedan were the Ashurites, the Letushites, and the Lumites. The sons of Midian were Ephar, Anok, Abida, and Ilda. All these were descendants of Keturah. Abraham left everything he owned to Isaac, but while he was still living, he gave gifts to the sons of his concubine and sent them away from his son Isaac to the land of the east. Abraham lived 175 years. Then Abraham breathed his last and died at a good old age, an old man and full of years. And he was gathered to his people. His sons Isaac and Ishmael buried him in the cave of Machpelah near Mamre in the field of Ephron, son of Zohar, the Hittites, the field Abraham had bought from the Hittites. There Abraham was buried with his wife Sarah. After Abraham's death, God blessed his son Isaac, who then lived near Beer Lai Roi. Ishmael's sons. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Ishmael, whom Sarah's slave Hagar the Egyptian bore to Abraham. These are the names of the sons of Ishmael listed in the order of their birth: Naboth, the firstborn, and Ishmael, Kedar, Adbil, Mibsham, Mishma, Duma, Massa, Adad, Timah, Jetur, Naphil, and Kedema. These were the names of Ishmael, and these are the names of the 12 tribal rulers according to their settlement and camps. Ishmael lived 137 years. He breathed his last and died. And he was gathered to his people. His descendants settled in the area from Avila to Ashur, near the eastern border of Egypt, as you go towards Ashur. And they lived in hostility towards all the tribes related to them. And now we see the story of Jacob and Esau. This is the account of the family line of Abraham's son Isaac. Abraham became the father of Isaac, and Isaac was 40 years old when he married Rebekah, daughter of Bethuel, the Aramean from Padan Aram, and sister of Laban the Aramean. Isaac prayed to the Lord on behalf of his wife because she was childless. The Lord answered his prayer, and his wife Rebekah became pregnant. The babies jostled each other within her, and she said, "Why is this happening to me?" So she went to inquire of the Lord. The Lord said to her, "Two nations are in your womb, and two people from within you will be separated. One people will be stronger than the other, and the elder will serve the younger. When the time came for her to give birth, there were twin boys in her womb. The first to come out was red, and his whole body was like a hairy garment. So they named him Esau. After this, his brother came out with his hand grasping Esau's heel. So he was named Jacob. Isaac was 60 years old when Rebekah gave birth to them. The boys grew up, and Esau became a skillful hunter, a man of the open country, while Jacob was contented to stay at home among the tents. Isaac, who had a taste for wild games, loved Esau, but Rebekah loved Jacob. Once, when Jacob was cooking some stew, Esau came in from the open country, famished. He said to Jacob, "Quick, let me have some of that red stew. I am famished." That is why he was also called Edom. Jacob replied, "First, sell me your birthrights." "Look, I am about to die," Esau said. "What good is the birthright to me?" But Jacob said, "Swear to me first." So he swore an oath to him, selling his birthright to Jacob. Then Jacob gave Esau some bread and little stew. He ate and drank, and then got up and left. So Esau despised his birthright. And that is the reading of today. Now let's look at chapter 25 in context. Abraham marries Keturah and has additional children. This highlights God's blessing of Abraham with many offspring, though the covenant promise remains through Isaac. Abraham's death and burial in the cave of Machpelah next to Sarah signifies the end of his earthly life, but not of the covenant he established with God. In chapter 25 also we see the list of Ishmael's descendants, fulfilling God's promise to Abraham that Ishmael would become a great nation. However, the focus subtly shifts away from Ishmael, as he is not the covenant heir. This portion introduces Isaac's twin sons, Esau and Jacob. Jacob's name and action foreshadow his role in God's plan. Esau's sale of his birthright for a meal demonstrate the weight of God's sovereignty and set the stage for the future struggle between the brothers. And now, what are the teachings of this chapter? Number one, the sovereignty of God in choosing the covenant line. The chapter underscores God's divine election, despite cultural norms favoring the firstborn. Jacob is chosen over Esau, revealing that God's plans are not bound by human tradition. Number three, the temporal versus eternal perspective. Esau's impulsive decision to trade his birthright for immediate satisfaction demonstrates the danger of valuing temporary desires over eternal blessings. Abraham's legacy lives on through his children, and the covenantal blessings passed down to Isaac and Jacob. This reflects the importance of generation faithfulness. The story also of Jacob and Esau begins to show that even flawed individuals are used by God to accomplish His purpose, emphasizing grace over merits. God can use you wherever you are. Do not doubt yourself. God is not bound by traditional norms. He is a God of His own, and His words are more important than any other thing. Now, may you be blessed, may you be lifted, and may you be encouraged in the mighty name of our Jesus Christ. Amen.